Okay, today we are playing a game on Nepal, we are playing May the entire way through, and we are in the Masters SR range. We are also playing on the console today. It looks to be the Xbox, based on the hieroglyphics. One day I'm going to say that we're on the console, and someone's going to be like, actually I was just using a controller on the PC, and I'm not going to know how to deal with that one when that day comes. Also, this game is incomplete. Which we've had before, but usually we're missing the start of the game if that's the case. We're actually missing the end of the game today. But we probably won, if I had to guess. So, our current team composition is Winston, Zarya, May, Tracer, Zenyatta, and Mercy. So if they have a Pharah, we'll be pretty upset about that, because it's basically just going to be up to Zenyatta to deal with that, which he probably won't be too happy about. Otherwise, our team is rather unremarkable. Oh, we are, of course, also using the new Mei skin, which is a Jiangshi, which is a hopping vampire. So we have to be jumping constantly throughout the game. If we at any point stop jumping, we've basically lost the game. As you can see, we were walking very briefly there, so that's probably like 2% chance off the winning right there. So enemy team, right outside this gate. We try to wall them off, but this one doesn't exactly go very well. It's okay, we can just take it down again. Now, they do also have a Zenyatta, and Winston ends up getting killed just kind of coming out the gate. But it's okay, because we've got Mercy on our team, and our Tracer has just killed their Mercy. So now we basically just get to go in and kill people. A lot of math was on that shot right there. This feels real good, you know. This is like, it feels like playing McCree, but we're actually playing May, so... Enemy team basically dead right now. Misaligned the wall so we don't also get to kill the soldier, which is unfortunate. However, we have already basically won this fight because of the fact that three of them are dead anyway. So, Genji tried. It's not going to work. D.Va was just here. It's not going to work. Mercy coming in to try and res the Winston on the point. However, she ends up getting killed for it. We hold our shift, or left bumper, real quick, real long on this one. 7 HP. Right in front of the enemy team, but it's okay. We got it in time. There was a pretty good opportunity here to basically kill the Genji, because we can wall off the Genji and seal Soldier outside of the point, or we could just seal them both in the point as well, in which case, you know, you just kind of run at both of them. But, could have cut off the Genji and tried to kill him. Instead, we end up Soldier uses Attack Visor, so we wall him off instead. However, we've sort of been losing people slowly over this entire fight, because we lost our healers. So, we end up losing the point. Anyway, despite the start of the fight going really well, they managed to all get back in time to fight it out. Well, we lost our supports as well, which is like the big thing. So we already almost have Blizzard built up, though, which is pretty good, because Blizzard is a very strong ultimate, especially on a very confined map like Village. Soldiers behind us, got some shots in, we ended up using our shift, which is sad, but we also gained our ultimate by doing so. So we chuck our ultimate onto the point, but we kind of just ignore the Genji to do so, and he's running around with Dragon Blade right now, which is rather concerning. It ends up not mattering, because Zenyatta uses Transcendence, which cancels it out. However, we throw our ult onto the point and everyone just kind of disappears off the point. It's alright though, we still win the game. We still win the fight because we used about 4 ultimates in the fight, so what can they do? They only use 1 ultimate, and one of our ultimates cancelled it out. So we've got control of the point now. Good map to be playing May on, for as far as King of the Hill maps go, because there's the one doorway that you can cut people off in. Winston's jumped in. Winston was not really allowed to do that because his team was not actually with him, and now he's been frozen and killed. Reaper decides that he wants to stay and fight it out rather than trying to shift away, which is his decision to make, but I would not have recommended it, so he ends up getting killed as well. Tracer's off making big plays somewhere. You know, she's killed D.Va wherever she is. And we don't actually see the enemy team for a while now, as you might have noticed, because there wasn't really an engage they were allowed to pick. Our Zenyatta has just killed Soldier somewhere. There's a whole story going off somewhere else in the map that we don't know about today. So we try to wall them off through the doorway here. It's a hard angle to try and wall people off at, because if you're below the geometry that you try to wall them off on, it can get misaligned quite easily, so we tried. And then Soldier ends up coming out with Tac Visor. It's okay, Zenyatta uses Transcendence. Because Zenyatta uses Transcendence, we didn't need to do this. So we end up wasting our cooldown. It's alright, though, because Zenyatta's still using Transcendence, so gives you a wide margin for error. Their Mercy came in and rezzed the Reaper, but she wasn't allowed to do that, so she ended up dying, and Reaper ended up not doing anything, because he was in no position to do such. So the enemy team is giving us a lot of help in this game, as we might have noticed so far, because out of the 3 or so pushes they've tried to make in here, only one of them really had any chance of winning, and it didn't go super well, and then they don't even get back in time to try for this one. So we didn't really have to try too hard in that round. The replay is a little bit fucked up. This is a really good emote. The hopping vampire, you see, this is what they do. The literal translation is something like stiff corpse, so, yeah. There's some weird mythology out there in the world. There's like this one Japanese one that's like is in the bathroom, because for some reason Japanese people are like obsessed with bathrooms in their horror stories. And they offer you a red toilet paper or a blue toilet paper. And if you take one of them, I don't remember which one, if you take one of them, she just kills you. If you pick the other one, she drags you down to hell. And if you refuse them, she does something else terrible, like she eats you or something. There's basically a no-win situation here. It's just, there's some weird mythology out there in the world, you know? I find mythology really interesting, because there's a lot of really weird shit out there. Like the Scottish one, the Kelpie, the horse that's just kind of out there, and then you touch it, and it's like, oh fuck, it's actually like a gelatinous cube horse, and then it drags you under the water and drowns you. I love mythology. There's a lot of weird stuff out there. So, I was gonna say something, right, so, like, first round, we didn't really have to work that hard, but, you know, we used our ultimate pretty poorly, because we just kind of threw it in where not many people were, and then they disappeared anyway, and we ignored the Genji who was using Dragon Blade to do so as well, and as Mei, we have sort of an obligation to try and deal with the Genji, because we're one of the people that's pretty good against Genji, you know. It's okay to use Transcendence, though, so it didn't matter. So there's Zarya's already fucking dead, but they've got Mercy on their team, so she's alive again. Don't really see much point in using the wall, because there's not that much coming, frankly, and our entire team is already here. So we could have saved our wall to use for a better opportunity, but not much happens in the interim anyway, so we have it back up again now to wall off D.Va in here. Though we misalign it slightly, so it ends up not actually blocking off the team that well. And then we get mad greedy trying to kill this Mercy, and I understand, it's like, she's about to get frozen, but then we just get like a little bit too greedy, and we end up getting killed. While we had our shift up as well, which is the sad part. So the replay is a little bit fucked up. Partway through this round, it's going to take us back to the first round again, but then the rest, we have to skip forward again, and then we're missing, like, the last part of the round, but, like, I feel like we probably won this round. So, there's a Graviton happening over there. We decide, instead of worrying about that we're gonna try and kill the Pharah, who is not really within our area of expertise. So, I mean, no one on our team is. You know, if there's a Pharah on their team, we're gonna be pretty sad about it. It's still true, because our team hasn't changed. But, like, we choose to try and fight the thing we're not very good at, and, like, ignore the Graviton, and then end up getting killed by the Reaper while we're trying to fight someone we're not that good at fighting. We should, like, worry about the thing we're good at first, before trying to do the thing we're bad at. See, then we're just back in the first round again. I do sort of wonder if this was actually on the PC, because there's a few points during the game where we stop, kind of like we alt-tabbed out, but I don't know. No, there's like a dude on the other team that's like there's a guy in this game that's got like 5 numbers in his name, so it must be like a gamer tag, so close enough. This is close enough. So we ignore the thing that we're good at to try and deal with the thing we're not very good at, and it's very awkward to do so. Ends up not mattering, because most of their team still got killed in the Graviton anyway, and they couldn't really recover, even though their Mercy had Valkyrie. And now we almost have Blizzard built up as well. Did their team actually change during that? I didn't look. No. Okay. We're pretty good at dealing with most of their team. We, like, really fucked Diva's day up as, Mei. Not necessarily because we're gonna kill the Diva, but we're gonna freeze the Diva and make it really hard for her to do what she wants to do. So we, we have an obligation to try and fight this Pharah, and there's nothing better for us to be doing at the time, so we give it a try. It ends up not working out anyway. I will say that we should be probably trying to get the Mercy, but the Mercy is, like, way up in the sky, so she's, like, pretty out of the way also. So, we freeze the Zarya, but she has already gotten her ultimate in. Oh, God. It's okay. No, it's not okay anymore. Because Pharah pops out and uses her ultimate, Reaper's using his ultimate, and they end up... And then Zenyatta uses his ultimate when all the ultimates have already come through. If they use Barrage and Death Blossom, it's pretty much not... and Graviton, you're pretty expected to lose the fight in that case. Maybe if we chuck our ultimate out slightly sooner, but by the time it really looked like we had to use it, it was already kind of too late anyway, so, you get fucked if the enemy team comes in with a lot of ultimates, is the moral of the story. Because shockingly enough, in Overwatch, ultimates are pretty strong. So we're waiting for our team to regroup. Good patience. No one's going out to try and do some damage and get picked off. However, Tracer has come around a corner and immediately just gotten executed by Reaper, so this is a good start to things. It's okay, though. Mercy's in the game. It's, it's like... I still don't like that Resurrect does this, because it's like, Reaper got this kill that he had no right to really get, because Tracer is supposed to beat Reaper. So he manages to get this kill, and this kill is meant to mean we don't get to fight now, for the next, 20 or so, well, 15 seconds, because it's Tracer. But, Mercy's in the game, so Reaper's, play that's meant to buy him a lot of time, ends up buying him 0 time, and we just come out and start fighting again anyway, so... We dropped kind of low because we had Discord Orb on us, but we're up here right now, so there's not really much they can do about it. That's kind of a scary toss, because we are looking directly at the Diva. If the Diva reacts in time, she can eat the robot, because it actually flies through the air pretty slowly, so that's kind of a scary toss. But you can also, she'd have to react pretty quickly, but it's kind of spooky anyway, because the Diva is right there. It's the same reason that it's spooky to ult a Zarya when looking right at a Diva, It's okay, though. Didn't matter. So we are currently bubbled while in our Icicle, which is very awkward. Wall off most of their team. We are now walking forward while we have 12 hit points, which is not a legal maneuver. Oh god, 12 entire HP. Oh, it's a good thing Zarya didn't just, melee us. But it's okay, because Mercy appeared to heal us. Didn't really need to use the Icicle here either, because Reaper didn't actually ever get a shot in, but it looks like it was probably just a panic reaction, oh fuck, Reaper's right there, point blank. Which is pretty spooky, to be fair, so there's not that much time left on the replay, no. It ends on kind of a cliffhanger, because we, lose the point right as the replay ends, but, I'm pretty sure we win this game. I'd be quite surprised if we didn't win this game. So, Zarya's got her ultimate, so she fends off this push basically by herself. Tracer also used her ultimate, when things were already basically over. However, Valkyrie comes in, reses 2 people. It's not everyone that die, but they at least get to give it a try now. We've built our ultimate up. It's kind of spooky, because the Roadhog's no, he just used his hook. It's not spooky at all. We can pop out and wall off this Reaper right here and kill him, because he's trying to Wraith form away. Because he did, in fact, try to hook us right there, and it bounced off the Icicle, so there was an opportunity to pick off this Reaper right here. Didn't take it. For the most part, we play, really well. As you would hope out of a game that's in Masters, we play pretty well mostly in this game. The biggest thing is just, a couple of misaligned walls. This is, really optimistic to kind of sit in this corner and wait to try and wall someone off, but at the same time, we have Discord Orb on us, so... We don't necessarily want to poke our face out until that's gone either. So. Now I was watching this and I was like, oh, this actually does catch just the end of the game. Because, we've got our ultimate. How can they possibly fend us off? How can they possibly, take the point back? No, they, do, somehow. So we see them coming and we just dump our ultimate on the floor at them, as you would do in this situation. But McCree started using High Noon, which we did here, but I'm talking over it, and we see him right there. Could have walled him off. Didn't wall him off, because we killed the Reaper first instead. And we actually end up not winning the game, because I was like, we win during this kill cam. No, if you can believe it. The Reaper comes back, uses Death Blossom, kills most of our team, and now we die as well. It would have been great if the replay ended, like, right here, wouldn't it? Can't you just, like, imagine, like, the JoJo's to be continued sliding onto the screen? So, I think somehow we probably still won this game, given that, at no point during this game has it ever felt like we were really going to lose, you know? So the biggest things that stood out in this game is just like we misaligned our wall a few times, basically. We missed like a couple of opportunities to try and wall someone off, like we could have split the Genji from the Soldier in round 1, and we could have walled off the Reaper while he's trying to retreat during the end of this round, which might have actually mattered, considering Reaper just killed everybody with Death Blossom right there. What's up, Cat? Good talk. But that was like the biggest thing that really stood out, is like we misalign our wall a few times. But at the same time, you know, when you're playing on a controller, you're probably not going to be able to wall off perfectly every time, because it's not a mouse and keyboard. There's less precision involved in it, basically. So, I would say probably don't try and wall people off if you're like below the level of the thing you're trying to wall off, because never really goes super well because of the way that, like, the targeting thing works, you know? You ever seen a Widowmaker try to, like, grapple up to a ledge? Like, this is my favorite one. You try to grapple up to, like, the high ground on Dorado's street, you know, above the chapel, and it just instead, the grapple goes out, gets the wall, like, the, like, 3-foot high wall, and just, like, shoots you into the enemy team. That's, like, my favorite instance of, like, Overwatch targeting being terrible. Or, like, when you try to teleport somewhere as Reaper, but it, like, snaps to ledges, so, like, you try to teleport ahead when you come out of spawn, and it snaps to the staircase in front of you, so you teleport, like, 3 feet. Always my favorite. So, not that much actually happened in this game, other than that. And I mean, that's how you would expect things to be from a higher SR game. There'd be less, terrible, horrible mistakes happening, which there were, except for the enemy team, because there's bad people everywhere. Never gets better. Every elo is elo hell. It's just like varying degrees and for different reasons. Like low diamond is like super elo hell, because that's where people they were like, I got the diamond, don't give a shit anymore. So then you have to go through like 250 SR of like absolute terrible people. And then you get to like 3,350-ish, and these are the people who are actually trying to get into Masters, so that's, like, reasonably okay. Then you get into Masters, and it's like, that's elo hell starts again, because there's the people who are like, got the Masters, I don't care anymore. Every elo's elo hell. You also, like, as you go up in Masters as well, there's, like, too much ego involved in people, and they don't want to change, even if they should change. So you got the Genji who's playing against, like, Symmetra, Mei, Winston, Zarya, like, just every Genji counter in the game is like, nope, I'm fucking Masters Genji, fuck you, I'm still gonna keep playing Genji anyway. Every elo's elo hell. Mostly thought this was worth watching, because I don't think we've ever watched a Mei game before, so that's one to scratch off the bucket list right there. Who have we not seen at this point? We've not seen Torbjorn. Who else have we not seen? We've seen Hanzo, we've seen Widowmaker. We haven't seen Bastion. That might be it. I can't think of anyone else that we haven't seen at this point. Yeah, I think it's just Torbjorn and Bastion. How about that? We've almost scratched everyone off the bucket list. We did see a Symmetra. Yeah, we saw a Symmetra. We're almost there. We're almost there. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.